What you're looking at is Sawmill Peak, and that was a site on the side of Sawmill Peak back in the 1870s of the famous Dogtown nugget. It was 54 pounds, the largest natural placer gold nugget found in the continental United States. We're sitting here on the west branch of, just above the west branch of the Feather River, and we're here to demonstrate the new White's TDI. Hi there, I'm Digger Bob, and I'm here just doing this quick little video to kind of introduce everybody to the new White's TDI SL. This is the machine right here. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with it, so I'm just going to quickly go over some of the controls and some of the differences that we have. First of all, let me get my glasses on here so I can see what I'm doing. You'll notice, first of all, that it is very light, it is very small. It's much better balanced. We have the S rod. Okay. Number one, first difference is we have one battery light now instead of three. When the red light comes on, the batteries are getting low. Your threshold control pretty much remains the same. Your pulse delay remains the same. Your conductivity remains the same, and your frequency control remains the same. Some of the biggest differences are in your ground balance control and your power control. On the TDI and the TDI Pro, which by the way are not being replaced in the line, this is an upgrade to the line, it is not a replacement. On those two, we have two locking toggle switches here. Those have been replaced by these two controls here. Your ground balance control here, it's either off or it's on. Okay, your power here is also your gain. So when you turn it on, you increase the gain by simply turning it up. Okay. Now I am going to. That's pretty much it. I'm going to back up a little bit there. As you can see, what we have right now is the 12-inch dual field loop. The dual field loop is a unique design patented by White's. What you have is a 12-inch loop that gives you depth on larger targets, and then you have an inner loop here which is about, I don't know, 6 inches. Your inner loop here and your outer loop. Your outer loop gives you the depth on large targets, your inner loop gives you the depth on small targets. They work in conjunction at the same time, so it really is a dual purpose loop, hence the name dual field. Okay, good sensitivity to small targets, good depth on large targets. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate real quickly then a couple of things, because I haven't touched on the best things yet. Besides it being light and small, the battery system. Look at the batteries. It is encased in the same box that all the rest of White's machines come in. This is your battery now. What you have here, you have 8 AA batteries in this slide-in pack. The machine also comes with, in addition to this, a rechargeable nickel metal hydride battery. Either of these battery packs, either one is good for 4 to 5 hours of use. So that means between the two packs, you can get a full day's hunting. The nickel metal hydride is rechargeable at home from a wall charger, charges up in about 2 hours. Right now there is not a car charger available for it, but it is coming, so be patient. Other than that, if you're going to be out in the field for a couple of days, it's simply a matter of just getting a bunch of AA batteries and taking those along with you. Now, AA batteries are relatively cheap. If you get a brick of them at Costco for 50 of them for 10 bucks, you go to Harbor Freight or any place like that, if you buy them in bulk, they're really inexpensive. Okay? So, just briefly, like I say, that's kind of it. It comes with a stand, which the other one does not. The TDI and the TDI Pro have their advantages. So a couple of advantages this one does not have. But this one has some things that the other one doesn't, and I'm going to show you those right now. I've touched on all the controls. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it on, and I want you to listen to this. I'm going to turn the power, the gain up to 6. I'm going to turn the ground balance here to about 6 or so. I'm going to turn the threshold up. Listen to that. It just purrs. Isn't that so nice and smooth? I can turn the threshold down to just barely audible. and it still just hums. Turn it up a little bit, no difference. Okay, watch this though. The best is yet to come. I'm going to turn the gain up. The gain is at maximum. Did you hear any change in the tone? No, you didn't. Okay, I have the conductivity at low. What do you think would happen if I turn this to all, where you hear all conductive targets, high and low? Now you're in all. No change in the tone. Turn it to high. No change in the tone. This is an incredible feat of engineering. This is an incredible advancement, because this machine can now be used not only for nugget hunting, relic hunting, coin hunting, beach hunting, and you can use it in all, no matter where you're going, and you get this nice, smooth, steady threshold. Okay, I'm going to show you now how to ground balance it. The ground balance instructions that are in the manual are, I won't say they're wrong, but they're not the preferred method to ground balance the machine. I'm going to show you the easy way to ground balance it. So first of all, you set your threshold, set your post delay at 10. This is for nugget hunting. We're not talking coins and jewelry. This is strictly nugget hunting. Put your ground balance your ground balance control at 6. You can put your gain at halfway if you want. Your conductivity in all. Your frequency right in the middle or wherever it happens to be. You notice we're not getting any EMI interference from anything, even though we're right next to a highway. Okay, I'm going to ground balance it now. And before I do that, I want to show you just a little something as to why I chose this particular spot. You see these rocks behind me? These rocks are pure serpentine. See this pick with the super magnet on the end of it? Watch what happens if I just run this pick through this dirt. Okay, that's how bad this ground is here. That is magnetized dirt. That is just nasty stuff. Okay, pure serpentine is one of the hardest minerals that you can get to ground balance a machine in. A VLF machine of any brand will not balance this stuff out. You cannot get the loop more than a foot or two off the ground in this stuff, no matter where you put the gain. Okay, now I have everything set. I'm going to ground balance it. Listen what happens when I ground balance it. Okay, as you go down to the ground, the sound increases. You simply come to your ground balance control and you turn it up just a little bit. You want to turn it from 6 to 7. Okay, your threshold is still getting a little louder, so I'm going to go up to 8. Oh, look at that. No change in the tone. It's ground balanced. Had I gone up to 9 and done it, your tone goes down. Okay? What you're aiming for is no change between the air tone and the ground tone. So I'm going to turn it back to 7. Do it again just to check it. Okay, a little high. Turn it up to 7.5. Okay. Now it's ground balance. No change between the air tone and the ground tone. Almost always, this machine is going to balance between 7 and 8 in mineralized ground. On a rare occasion, you may find that you don't need to ground balance it at all. In that case, you simply turn your ground balance off. You will get more depth. All your targets will sound the same, but you will get, well, you'll get more depth. It'll also be susceptible to mineralization and hot rocks and various things like that. So, okay, so we've got a ground balance now, okay? Now you start hunting. You simply sweep the loop back and forth very slowly, and you listen. You listen for a high tone, okay? I'm going to switch this back to low conductive. I'm in all. I'm going to switch it to low conductive, because we're listening for low conductive targets, which are going to be your smaller nuggets, generally 1/2 to 1/4 ounce or less, okay? That's a good sounding target. Notice the sound. It's nice and smooth, kind of a bell-shaped tone, not your harsh rectangular tone that you would get from a piece of iron or some sort of trash, okay? You simply sweep back over it a couple of times, get your pick. Go over the dirt, not there. Still in the hole, okay? All right, it's not in the hole anymore. We moved it out of the hole. Notice how much louder and stronger the signal is now. Simply crisscross over it. You can bend down, you can get a handful of dirt, or you can use a scoop, or you can use a cup, or anything like that. Okay? That means I've got it in my hand. One thing about this machine, as opposed to a VLF machine, you get no response from your hand. Okay? So, I'm going to take about half of this, I'm going to pour it into my hand. That means I've got the target in my hand. I can toss that aside. Take some more of it, and you simply do this back and forth like this, okay? Until you get the target in your hand, you get it down to a small amount, and you look, and there's your target. Okay? I use this nugget off my necklace just for demonstration. But that's about a 3 pennyweight nugget. It was buried about 4 inches. Okay? Now, I want to show you something else. I want to show you just briefly how sensitive this machine is to various targets. Don't let me forget that. Again, we're in low. We've got the gain at max. Here's a nickel. That's about 12 inches in the air on a nickel. Okay? But just listen to that tone. Listen how that just purrs. Alright? Here we have 0.1 pennyweight nugget. This is 2.5 grains roughly. Okay? Oh, criminy, I had the gain set at half still. Turn the gain up all the way. Okay, nice signal on a 2.5 grain nugget. Here's a 1 grain. Now, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but I can hear that clearly. Okay. I have here a 1/2 grain nugget. That is beyond the capability of this machine. 1 grain is just about as much as you can get out of this machine. Okay, if you were using a smaller loop, you would get a much stronger signal. Okay, all right. I just want to give you just a little bit of heads up on what this machine is capable of. Smaller loops will give you a stronger signal on smaller targets, okay? But the biggest thing is that it is smooth, it is quiet, even in the hottest mineralized ground, okay? So, I think that's about it for now. Now, I'm going to try to do another video, and I'm going to go over a little bit more on the different types of loops, demonstrate some of the loops and what they will do. I'm going to go over some hunting techniques, where to look, how to look, and then I'm going to go a little bit over how it discriminates or how it identifies iron, okay? All right, I think that's it for now then, okay? There we go.